Welcome back to the Cabinet Room, the show where we open the drawers and tell you what is really going on inside your kitchen cabinets. I am Chris, with me as always is Jessica, and today we are settling one of the most common questions we get on the showroom floor. Fabuwood versus Forevermark. Two brands on almost every short list.
And I want to say up front, because people appreciate honesty, we are a Fabuwood dealer. So we are not neutral. But the goal today is not to sell you Fabuwood. It is to help you actually decide. Because for some projects, Forevermark is the right call. And we will tell you exactly when.
Right. On paper, these two look like twins. Both imported, both KCMA-certified, both all-plywood with dovetail drawers. So most people just pick on price. Where does that go wrong?
It goes wrong because the differences do not show up on day one. They show up in year 5 or 6. And a dealer sees those years. So let us start with something most buyers never even think about. Who actually makes these cabinets?
Okay, who does?
Fabuwood imports components and does final assembly and quality checking in a 1 million square foot plant in Newark, New Jersey. The cabinet shows up at your house already built and squared. Forevermark is a brand of a company called the Shekia Group, or TSG, based in Edison, New Jersey, but the cabinets are made overseas in Asia. Historically, China, now shifting to Vietnam, because of the anti-dumping duties the U.S. put on Chinese cabinets.
So neither one is really made in America.
Correct, and anybody who tells you otherwise is selling. Both are imported. The honest difference is Fabuwood assembles and stands behind it here, while Forevermark ships globally sourced product through a U.S. distributor. If country of origin matters to you, ask the dealer to put the current manufacturing country in writing, because the brand site does not state it plainly.
Good tip. Now let us get into the cabinet itself. When you inspect a brand, what is the first thing you look at?
The back panel. Every time. It is the part you never see after install, and it is the part that decides whether a run stays square for 20 years. Fabuwood uses a single-piece half-inch plywood back. You can screw it into a stud anywhere across its width, and it resists racking, which is the slow twist that happens when a heavy quartz top sits on the base cabinets.
And Forevermark?
Forevermark uses a half-inch picture frame recessed back over 3/8 base bottoms, a thinner center panel inside a frame. Anchored into studs properly, it is fine for normal loads, and it keeps the price down. It is just a lighter build with less shear strength. That is a real structural difference, not a cosmetic one. And it is exactly the kind of thing a buyer never sees, which is why we point it out.
What about the drawers? That is where a kitchen takes a beating.
This is where they are genuinely close, and I will not pretend otherwise. Both use solid wood dovetail drawer boxes, the joint that keeps the face from pulling loose. Fabuwood is 5/8 solid birch, and the Illum line steps up to the Blum Box metal system. Forevermark is around 17mm solid wood, sometimes eucalyptus grandis. If you only looked at the drawer box, you could not pick a winner.
So where's the real separation?
Hardware. If one thing decides quality over 20 years, it is the hinges and glides, because they wear out long before the box does. Fabuwood puts Blum on every main line as standard. 200,000 cycle rating, its own warranty, and a part supply so deep you can still get the exact hinge in 15 years. Forevermark uses generic soft close that varies by series. It feels fine out of the box. The problem is, years later, matching a worn, unbranded part is hard.
That replaceability point is underrated.
It really is. And there is a credential angle, too. Fabuwood has its own internal Q12 standard, but more importantly, its Allure line earned Architectural Woodwork Institute Premium Grade, which is independent, tested to over 2,000 pounds on tall pantries. Forevermark has KCMA, which both brands have, but no independent premium grade. Where Forevermark wins the certification race is environmental. It adds GreenGuard Gold and FSC on select lines. If low-emission, sustainable materials matter to your house, that is a real Forevermark advantage.
Let us talk warranty, because I know there is a gap.
Big one. Fabuwood is limited lifetime on its main lines to the original owner. Forevermark is 2 to 5 years, and painted doors are only 2 years. Painted white is the most popular finish and the most likely to chip, so that 2-year term matters. Some dealers advertise a Forevermark lifetime warranty, so get the real terms in writing.
And you always tell people something about how claims actually work.
Yes, because this is the part only a dealer sees. The big majority of cabinet warranty issues are shipping damage, not defects. Fabuwood's process is thorough, photos required, and sometimes they want the damaged part back before they ship a replacement. That can slow a contractor down. So the move with either brand is to inspect every box the second it comes off the truck, photograph any damage before the driver leaves, and file before install day. We build that into how we hand off an order.
Now the big one for a lot of people, price.
Forevermark wins on price. Clearly. About $2,300 to $2,800 for a 10 by 10 versus around $4,400 for Fabuwood. And Forevermark has a ready-to-assemble option that saves even more upfront. But here is the contractor math. RTA moves assembly labor to you. A 12-cabinet kitchen is about 4 hours of skilled labor, and the savings are around $500. So once your crew rate passes about $128 an hour, that labor eats the savings.
And there is a tariff angle this year, too.
There is. A 25% tariff has been on imported cabinets since October 2025, with a bigger increase pushed to 2027. Both brands import, so both feel it. What it does is shrink the old price gap that fully imported RTA lines used to enjoy, which quietly helps the domestically assembled option.
Okay, give me the clean recommendation.
Choose Forevermark for a rental, a flip, or a strict budget, especially if you can use RTA, or if the eco-certs are your priority. Choose Fabuwood for a primary home you plan to keep, where the stronger back, the Blum hardware, the independent grade, and the lifetime warranty earn out over 15 years. And honestly, whichever brand you pick, the layout matters more than the logo.
Say more about that, because that is the part people skip.
The regrets we hear months later are never about the brand. They are about the layout. Put drawers, not doors, on your lower cabinets in the prep zone. Plan more outlets than code, and never put a small appliance station on the same circuit as a major appliance. Wire under cabinet lighting before the boxes go in. Fix the deep pantry with pullouts so cans do not vanish to the back. And order all your cabinets in one batch, because finish can vary between production runs.
That is the kind of advice that actually saves a kitchen. Great place to land. If you want to see this in person, both brands sell only through dealers, so the dealer is part of what you're buying. We carry the full Fabuwood lineup in stock at In Stock Today cabinets. Open the drawers, feel the Blum, look at the back of a cabinet. Visit Alexandria, Fairfax, Columbia, Houston, Roselle, or Bear, Delaware, or start a free design consult online. We also put the full written comparison on our site at iscabinets.com/Fabuwood versus Forevermark. Jessica, thanks as always.
Always a pleasure. Thanks for listening, everybody, and we will see you in the next one.